I put a patient in this room. This is I gotta put a little card here for it on the door. This is Sergeant Green. And I will get a green color for his. These are not open. That really annoys the shit out of me. Why wouldn't these be open? I think Vanna Smith is in that other room, so we're gonna have to put Silas somewhere else.
So what time EST is like 30 minutes before storm?
What's that? I think it was about
EST is
5:30. Storm is at 6 EST. Where are the other rooms we can put people in? These ones, right? 01, 02? I mean, it's not ideal, is it? 103, like their offices. Those are offices. I have absolutely no idea. Like, it's a real mess because they don't actually have a facility for formally releasing people. They just basically go out. And I guess they mention it. They might mention it on their file, but it's literally just 3 rooms that I'm gonna put him in here. This other room, I think there is somebody still in here. God. Hello.
How are things?
Oh, we're just done swimmingly. We just had to do a compound fracture surgery on Silas Rose, who's in police custody.
How exciting.
Yeah, and he had a mouse mask, was dressed in a little Red Riding Hood outfit, and fell off a crane. So that's fun. I also had to do another second surgery on Thomas Green here, who was the guy whose intestines were deciding to leave his body yesterday. That I had to do surgery on in the airfield. But yeah, he opened his stitches. He got a bunch of crap in there and from falling over, and mercifully his intestines decided to stay put, which is great. But he needs some recuperation time.
Understandably.
Yeah. He has been given his marching orders. He's used to following orders, so I think he will obey them. Also, little problem. Jordan put away the ambulance with all the food in it without remembering to take the food out of it, so there's no food.
I see. How's the hospital? I have been asleep since the cleaning started.
It's great. It's so clean and shiny and fresh feeling. Everything's good. So we've already, had to christen the morgue. We've had to christen the OR, and yeah, and the ICU. So we're glad to be back.
Well, I'm glad everything's back up to code. All right, one fire at a time. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that no one's open.
Are you hungry?
Not overly. I was going to try and get food for the hospital.
Because I do have an MRE.
I have some of the soda bread you gave me earlier. I should be okay.
Okay, I was given I gave Nick MRE because he was starving, and I also have a soda bread, 2 soda breads, and an Irish stew, and a couple of sandwiches that a police officer gave me, and a strawberry. So I'm okay. I just, it's going to be a while before the restaurants are able to kind of be functional again, I expect.
Yeah, we paid a very, very, well, not too high a premium, but we paid a pretty penny to get cleaning service quick, so I'm sure no one's really snapping at the chance to triple the cost.
They did a really good job. We talked to the cleaners. They were here when we got here, and they did a really good job. They filled up all of the, the sanitizers and the first floor anyway, and they got rid of the graffiti. They cleaned the staff areas. I let them into the staff areas clean, and they had already done like the morgue and the operating rooms and the ER when we got here.
I did part of the morgue myself because I was expecting we would have
yeah, we had that. We have that code black. I've got a report in there for you, so that you can make arrangements to do the autopsy. I put down everything I could remember or find about that, and a photo, and name is Clark Cole.
Okay, I'll speak to Dr. Rebecca and see what I can do about arrangements.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sign of foul play. I think that's another Monsoon victim, unfortunately.
Well, I'll be slightly suspicious, if only because well, not really my job to be suspicious, but I do wonder how many people have, hit someone head on something and then threw them in the water to be a nice excuse.
Yeah, that's possible. But it does look like somebody who'd really been bounced around a lot, and a lot of people do end up that way from the winds, the high winds. So you'll have to check, obviously when you do the autopsy, whether there's any kind of indication of anything other than accidental.
Right.
But already pretty bloated and had been nibbled on by sea creatures of various descriptions and pretty obviously dead. But, we tried to CPR anyway, just because we wanted the police to see that that's a good thing to do. Speaking of
Right.
which, I did speak to a police officer regarding that report that Kayla Walker did about what's his name, Pritchard, who was considered DOA but wasn't DOA.
Oh,
and
our
recovered.
our
Yeah.
zombie. Yeah.
Yeah, and talk to them about the fact that we're not trying to name names and name and shame and everything, but would like to see a little more education regarding them not assuming somebody's dead, and get some first aid training, and they seemed amenable to that.
That's good. I'll need to
Yeah,
arrange
yeah.
classes when I can.
Yeah, I
get
think
my
they were
head
kind
under
of
me.
they neglected to mention in the report that they blocked the EMS and told the EMS that the person was dead. They neglected to mention that.
Oh, so they just barred medical services from
Well, that's what Kayla's report said,
doing
that
medicine.
she was sort of blocked and told that the person was already dead, and they didn't made no resuscitation efforts at all. So because they decided that he was already dead when he clearly was not. So absolute textbook case there.
And also completely disregarding that it's medical
Oh,
staff that cause time of death.
I still don't
no
have
one else.
freaking. Oh, I'm so sorry, folks.
If that's not part of their SOPs,
Great.
it should
I'm
be.
such a good streamer.
Sorry, I'm
Oh my God,
grumpy
I am
'cause
so
I'm
sorry.
still waking up.
I'm so sorry.
I
Yeah.
did actually want to speak
What?
to you two when you have a second.
Well, we have a second. We're just
finish the report and not the surgery report. Yeah.
okay, and I'm going to just admit him. Indicate that he's admitted to the ICU, and
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, should I make separate report for the surgery or just a follow up on
I would
the
just put
general
it
report?
all. Would I
I
follow up
would
on
make
what?
it part of the general report,
Yeah.
Okay.
especially if it's the same incident.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, on it.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to tell Nick yet about what we talked about with regard to beans. I'm sure he's
If
up
it's
for.
important, I can stop writing this and listen.
It's Dr. Morgan has asked if we could do an operation on beans to reposition a plate in their head that has become out of alignment due to some recent situations that they've been in.
Head
Maybe
trauma.
she got hurt.
Yeah,
Oh,
head
God.
trauma, and yeah, they just need to have that adjusted. It's an existing plate from the previous situation.
Okay.
It's just come out of
Yeah.
alignment a bit, and we just need to basically put them under, and I guess open the scalp and reposition the plate and sew everything up again.
Yeah.
The anchor should still be in place in the intact part of the skull, but I can't guarantee the anchors are where they need
Thank
to
you
be.
for
So
your
you may
sexual
need to
vibes.
re-anchor them yourselves. But nothing internal wise, just surface of skull.
Just
and
the surface
plate
and skull.
removal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do that.
Yeah. I should talk to Dr. Hector about something that he said today. Jesus.
Wait, he spoke to you?
I mean,
He usually just signs at me. Sorry, hang on one second.
he
Go for
sized
Morgan.
you. Oh, God.
I'm upstairs at the hospital speaking with Doctors Brenda and Nick. Sorry, it should just be a few minutes. I'll be there shortly. Yeah,
No, I asked
should be
him
fairly
to.
straightforward.
Okay. I asked him to suture the sheriff's laceration on his back of the head while I deal with Cyrus, and he said, "I'm not paid enough to do this. You do it." Jesus. And he continued sipping coffee, of course.
Yeah, that sounds like Hector. Okay, I wanted to ask you a pretty serious question, actually.
Oh, okay. What's the serious question?
How have you been finding your residency? Any issues, any concerns?
I mean, we had a massive issue in that we had a monsoon, but that wasn't,
Yeah,
to do with the
well,
residency so much as just, everything.
Yeah, hopefully it
Um,
wasn't a problem with my management at all. I
Oh,
tried to keep
God.
everyone in the loop and connected,
God, no.
but
No, I think it went pretty well
it was fine.
considering everything.
Exactly.
I think we did the best that we all could under very difficult circumstances. I think things, we've learned some lessons for next time about things we should do and not do. And I think, for the most part, I think everybody just did wonderfully. Like I can't say enough about, Annie, for example. The EMS team was, just great to work with. I've never seen a place with such good cooperation between those groups, and I think that's
Yeah,
down to
I've-
you and the leadership of EMS being such a good unit and such a well-run machine that all could have gone very haywire, and it did not.
I cannot speak highly enough of Doctors Nikki, Thorne, and Stefan. They were the foundation for this. I inherited something amazing.
Yeah, it's a very good group, and I feel very privileged to be a part of that.
Okay, and admittedly, I'm coming at this somewhat selfishly for asking, but how would you both feel about promotion?
Promotion to attending.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that we're ready, I'm very honored.
Honestly, the way both of you have performed during this, I could not have asked for any better field test.
If you feel that we're ready for it, there's still things that we don't have down pat, but we'll certainly do our best to help you and help others that, bring people along as we've been brought along.
I'll be honest, I got the deputy director position pretty much learning by the seat of my pants as well, so it's just a continued tradition while we're staffing.
Yeah, well, I would be very honored to accept that.
Wonderful to hear. Dr. Nick, are you comfortable with that position?
Nick?
Yes, if you think I'm ready, I will be honored to accept.
I would appreciate it because we do have some very, very smart residents, and I have no doubts that they're going to, honestly carry more than their share of weight, but I could really use a hand making sure everyone's getting trained and getting perspective, and honestly, I think just my eyes being the only perspective sharing is terrible for the hospital, so.
And from what I've seen, Annie would be ready as well for that. If you agree, I think.
I have no doubts on that. I do want to see her work a little bit more. I've seen you both in surgery a lot, her slightly less so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that she is very close behind us, if not, right on our heels. So just seeing her in the field, the way that she was working independently at the Sandy, and seeing her, we worked with her on a surgery, and I've assisted her with another procedure, and she was great on both of those.
Okay. Honestly, I kind of had you two on the fast track since I know you have a pretty extensive medical history. Hers I'm less aware of since I know she's
Hmm.
pretty fresh from med school. That's really the only thing holding me back.
Yeah, I mean,
You see you're doing good work and you want to promote, please do.
I mean, oh, did
Nope.
Rick,
No,
Nikki, Nick, did you? For some reason, I felt like I was being escorted by somebody.
I flexed something. I don't know what I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not an authority. And if you feel you'd like to observe her a little bit more, that's. And you didn't get a chance to do so during this past weekend. You know, that's certainly valid as well. I just. I feel like she's. I don't know for sure if she's got all of the I's dotted and T's crossed, and I do believe that she may have been going on duty without supervision when she was an intern. That is something that concerned me a little bit because she was like at the hospital and in scrubs and prepared to take patients when there was nobody around other than us. So I think that might be familiarity with the hospital due to her relationship with an EMS, and I don't know how much she'd been doing that. Is something you might want to ask her about. I know she's been promoted and she can work solo now, but at the time I believe she was still an intern and she was, you know,
Right.
going on duty. From what I can tell, she was going on duty without that formality of supervision. So I don't know if that means that she's a bit of a, you know, a rogue in that respect, although I don't think really. I mean, I didn't see any work of hers that concerned me. Maybe it's just, you know, she was a bit chomping at the bit, very eager to get going.
And I can understand that, especially since my hours were pretty sparse
Yeah.
for a little while there.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. So, I mean, as long as it didn't concern me too much if it was somebody else who was a little less obviously comfortable. It might have been problematic, but with her, I think it was it's just eagerness and capability, you know.
Yeah. But I'm sitting here having you two do higher level work without higher level pay, so let's get you both promoted.
Okay.
I just
Nick?
want to make sure you're getting your fair share.
Oh, I mean, we've been
Yeah,
getting tremendously well paid for the last few days.
I am. I don't know. My muscles are kinda
Messed up today, honey.
a bit. I didn't know that I can do that, and I don't know how I did it.
Okay, well, you know, we'll think about that later.
Yep, will do.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's there.